Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Fragged Out, Swagged Out, and you already know why I'm here. Today, I'm gonna cover a perfume house by the name of Jousset Parfums. They are a Swiss perfume house. The creative director of Jimmy Bowden, I think that's how you pronounce his name. I could be wrong. Don't hold me to it. And they got their start in 2020. As far as I can see, I don't really see too much history with the company. And I know when I first saw them, I think a year ago, I really wasn't paying that much attention to them. I saw the bottles, I saw the way they advertised, the parrot on the side. I wasn't really feeling it, and I didn't hear enough information about them. And then sometime earlier this year, I believe, gotta give it up again. They calling it the Equality Effect, but your boy Equality Fragrance talked about I think 2 or 3 of them perhaps, and I like what I heard, so I pull the trigger on the first one. So I'm gonna go over the ones I have. If you don't know enough about the house and you want to get an idea of what they're working with, here's what we're doing today. So without further ado, we're gonna go with the first one I want to talk about, which is Gourmand Bacour Creme de la Creme. This is their special edition. There was one out before this, and they amped it up and made it even more gourmand than the first one. I haven't smelled the first one, but this one right here. And what I want to do is to give you a better idea. I'm actually go down by the notes. So if you're considering buying one of these and you want to have a better idea of what they're working with as a company, here it is. So top notes are peanut butter and chocolate. The heart note is biscuit and caramel, and the base note is smoky notes and vanilla. So I'm gonna tell you right now, this is gourmand, 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 sweet, dessert, edible. If you smell it like this, you smell delicious. If you smell somebody who has this on, they'll smell delicious. It's just creamy, caramelly, chocolatey to me, even combination. They say smoky notes. That smoky notes does not take away from the gourmand. It doesn't make it off-putting. It's not offensive. It's not like burnt wood or anything like that. It just gives it a little character, kind of elevates it a little bit. But man, when I say gourmand, sweet, and just seductively sweet, and I mean seductively sweet, this is on a different level. The only thing that I could probably compare this to that's equally on that next level gourmand, almost like it's just straight candy in here, is Italica by Xerjoff. That's about it. Everything else is levels and levels and levels below this. This is just, it says it in the name, man. Gourmand Bacour. And I don't get too much of the smokiness or too much of the Bacour. I get straight up caramel, peanut butter, chocolate, and vanilla. And if you are a lover of gourmand and you have not checked this house out, or at least this one particular fragrance, you're doing yourself a great injustice. Gourmand Bacour Creme de la Creme special edition. You can get this at their website, I believe, and Sealed Essence. The next one is a newer release, and I talked about this in one of my videos. This is Accident à l'Avenir, and the name kind of says it all for itself, man. We're gonna go over the note breakdown. It's on the top, there's vanilla. On the heart note, you got vanilla and sandalwood, and the base note, you have vanilla and styrax. I am not a perfumer. I don't know all the technical terms. I'm just a dude from the Bronx that loves perfume. That's all I can tell you. So I can't tell you what styrax smells like. What I do know in the time that I've been watching videos is I know sandalwood kind of gives everything a creamy feel to it. So you add that to the vanilla on the top, the vanilla in the middle, and the vanilla on the base, and just blending it's just vanilla. That's it. That's what I'm gonna tell you. This is vanilla. If you think you know vanilla on a perfume, wrong. This is the vanilla. This is the one you need to try. This is the one that other vanillas will be, you know, just, this will lead the way. If you haven't tried it, you need to get a sample, do what you gotta do. But if you love vanilla, you're going to love this. This is just a beautiful vanilla. I can't really compare anything else to this in terms of the way this performs, the way it smells. There's a lot of stuff with vanilla in it, and I have a lot of stuff with vanilla. But this right here, I really, really believe that it stands alone, which kind of speaks to what the company is doing right now. Jousset Parfums doesn't do a lot of marketing from what I see, at least not here in the States. And you don't see a lot about them, but what they're doing is spending time on their craft, and it's creating amazing, amazing fragrances. So those two are two of the more commercial fragrances they have in terms of gourmand and sweet fragrances. I'm gonna move on to now one of their fragrances that is not as easy to get your hands on, but smells amazing. This is their exclusive blend, and it's called Trot Treat. And you see here, this is one of their special cap editions. They made 3 different bottles for this one, or 3 different caps, I believe, limited editions. I don't know how many are still in rotation out there, but this right here, if you look at their, once again, their breakdown, they say top note is nougat, the heart note is vanilla and strawberry, the base note you have their oud trot and their red berries with wild agarwood. This right here, again, I'm really impressed by this company. I haven't been disappointed yet. This right here, as soon as you get the opening, you're gonna get that nougat. It's just really, really almost vanilla-ish, kind of creamy smell, and it's mixed with that strawberries and red berries, and it is so good. The opening by itself, if the opening itself was all you get throughout the entire experience, it's still worth everything. This is, you can't stop smelling. If somebody has this on, you're going to want to smell them. At first, I thought it was one of those it's one out of a collection that many people won't get, so I want to get it just as a collector. But this is something that I feel will run out because I'm going to want to wear it a lot. I try to be sparing with it and use other stuff as much as I want to pick it up. Sometimes I just go to my room and smell it because it's so good, and I don't want to get rid of it because these are small. And there's not many of them out there. But this right here, creamy, strawberry, red berries, nougat, vanilla vibe. And yes, on the base, you have that oud trot, which is a special blend of oud. And what you get with that special blend of oud, and why this is so valuable, is because you don't ever get that smoky kind of wood. You don't get that aggressive oud. You get this real masterfully blended oud. It's so smooth and sweet, and it complements this essentially gourmand fragrance. And I don't know too many times when you can say that you have an oud that falls into gourmand territory so heavily, so light, so fresh and fruity. But this is it. If you have the opportunity to find this one still out there, I would check Sealed Essence or even their website and see if they still have some out there. They may not have these caps anymore, but realistically, you're not buying it for the cap. I did because I like to collect certain bottles, but what's in here is what you're really buying. It's a really artistic or artisanal kind of look to it. You get a numbered box, but again, that's all extra stuff. The perfume itself is what you really want, and if they made 100 ml of this, I swear I would want it, but they don't. This is what you get, and be sparing with it. It's worth it. The last thing I'm going to go over, and this is the most this is the one that it took me a while before I ever wanted to even talk about it, because it's different. It's the most daring. It's not for everybody. I personally would not recommend this to someone who doesn't know for sure that they like darker, more daring fragrances. And that is their Lech Flame or Lech Flame. Again, don't get mad at me for the enunciation. But this one right here, hand painted bottles. Just alone in that, like, you know that they put time into what they're doing here. But the fragrance is what we're looking at here. And this one right here is daring. So when you look at the notes, you're gonna have on the top notes, dried fruits and sweet tobacco. And the hard notes, smoke, cognac, and in the base, you're gonna have birch tar and gaiac wood. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, if you don't know what birch tar is, I wasn't very familiar with it, but when I smelled this, I knew exactly what I was dealing with. If you don't like smoky fragrances, if you don't like really aggressively in-your-face fragrances, and I don't mean that it stinks, I mean that it's strong, it's there, it's not gonna go away. You're not gonna let this air out for a little while and come back and like, okay, this is aggressive. This is a very masculine fragrance. You know, I'm a big advocate of you wear what you want. Everything's unisex, no one's gonna, but this is aggressive. This is for, if a woman is wearing this is a very assertive woman. Know your place when you're around her. She's wearing this, because this is not a game. I'm gonna tell you right now. This fragrance right here, as soon as it opens, like I said, sometimes with a lot of fragrance, especially with them blended well, they're gonna tell you the notes. Forget about in what order they tell you the notes are. When you get this, as soon as you open it, birch tar, off the bat. It screams right out the, in fact, if that was the note that stood right across the board from beginning to end, and you never got rid of how intense that birch, it might be too aggressive. But the fact that you do, after a few minutes of that really, really strong birch tar, it's gonna start smoothing down, and you will get that tobacco and that cognac. And that really makes it this. I almost wanna say it's black on black suit. I swear, like this is not for the young guys. This is not to be on the block with. This is for high level situations. This really speaks to the maturity of the person who's wearing it. If you think that Creed Ventus or Aqua de Joe are the best fragrances in the market, then this probably is not for you. This probably is not for you, because this is a different level of exclusive fragrance. And I'm gonna tell you right now, when I first smelled it, I had to put it down and come back to it. I put it down. I really had to reconsider this purchase for a while. I was like, man, what did I buy? Like, I let these notes really take me one way, and then I had to go back and read them again and smell this again and start to really process what I was smelling. And by no means did I force myself to like this. I had to just really understand what I was smelling and really let it dry down and let it go to the process, because this takes you on a ride. You're gonna open up with that really strong birch tar for sure, and it is aggressive. And you may not like that first 2-3 minutes, but once that, what you get ultimately is like mesquite wood that's been burned through already, that kind of sweet mesquite smell in the air, and then that's gonna start to mix with like a sweet tobacco and cognac. It's smoky, tobacco, sweet tobacco, mesquite wood, and cognac. And then you get that gaiac wood, and you get that woody scent that continues, that kind of bodies everything together. But man, once you, this is a dry down right here. And I'm telling you, once you get past that really aggressive smell, what you get in the mid and in the base is just this distinguished gentleman, next level vibe that you cannot compare to anything else. The only cognac that I have in my collection that rivals this quality, and they're by no means comparable, but you really get that real cognac in this, is Straight to Heaven Extreme by Guerlain. And again, they're not comparable in any way. They're two totally different fragrances, but you're talking about that real cognac vibe that you get from that. This is a night by the fireplace with a cigar and some cognac, doing adult things. If you're not ready for that kind of experience, then don't even consider this. I'm gonna tell you right now, this is the next level. You get what you pay for with this. You get an experience, you get those adult notes, you get the hand-painted bottle. This is worth it if you are a collector and you like adult fragrances. I don't do reviews on fragrances I don't like. That's just my personal thing. Some people like to go in and bash other fragrances they're not into. I like this. It took me a minute. I had to appreciate what I had in this. but now I can do a video of this. You're never gonna see me do a video about a fragrance I don't like. That's just not my style. Number one. Number two, I only do videos for fragrances that I own, and if I don't like it, I'm not gonna own it. So that's what it comes down to. Jousset Parfums is one of those fragrances that it's harder to go to a store and smell it. So you have to order samples or just blind buy. Me, I blind bought everything. And I'm happy to say that I have no regrets. So the Trot Treat, the Leche Flemme, Accident à la Vanille, Gourmand Bacor, Creme de la Creme. All bangers, all amazing, different price ranges, different collections within the brand. They're doing a lot of great things artistically, from the way they give you a display of their bottles to the boxes they come in, to what's inside of them, to the ingredients. Right now, I'm a fan of Jousset Parfums. I wish they were in more places, but the exclusivity kind of makes it what's really cool with them as well. If you're just in it for Ambroxan bombs and fresh and everybody likes it because everybody has it, this is probably not for you. If you're into different kind of perfumes and you want to smell different, but you also want to smell good, then I really suggest you check them out. The one line I have not checked out yet is the Cowabunga. And if you want to know more about that, quick shout out to a YouTuber and Instagram guy. I think his name is My 2 Cents. You can check him out. He talks about them. It's the only video I've seen so far that they talk about Cowabunga. And again, when I saw that, I noticed, man, I haven't seen anything from them in that way. And this was very helpful. So let me cover some of my Joussets, and hopefully this helps one of you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. This is all I got for you. Fragged out, swagged out, and I'm out.